Hey there, Fierce Leaders. This is Alexia Usgard, and welcome to my channel, the #1 space for bold, ambitious women who are ready to make an impact and become the CEOs of their life and career. In today's video, I'm going to share with you my insider tips and tricks on how I organize my workday so that way I can stay really focused and prioritize what matters. And as I've done this, I have found that I've been able to increase my productivity, increase my energy levels throughout the day, and finish my day feeling fulfilled. So if this is something that you're interested in, if you're ready to get out of the busyness spiral and take control of your day and your life, then keep on watching. So before I dish out my tips and tricks, I want to share something that's really important first. And that's that busyness does not equal success. And I honestly must call myself out here. I literally used to think, and I honestly was a busy bunny running around half the time. I thought that the busier I seemed, the busier I was doing things, the more successful I was, the more prestigious I looked, the more people would think I mattered. And boy, was I wrong. Okay, so I can see where I first got this idea. Frankly, when I first got my first job, I watched all of my mentors, my bosses, the people I looked up to, and they all seemed frankly very busy. But the thing was, they were running from one meeting to the next, or they were always on their phone responding to emails. So I thought that that was how you get perceived as being successful. Little did I know, and something that I've learned so much on my leadership path, is that they said no to so many things. They were busy, yes. They had a lot on their plate, yes. But they also were very clear about why they were in the meetings they were in. They were very clear about what meetings mattered. And they also knew very clearly what their core goals were and metrics. So that way, when they were doing a lot, they had a clear intention on why. So this is a big differentiator because frankly, if I was just running from meeting to meeting, but with no real clear intention on why the heck I was really there, or just responding to Slack messages, just trying to keep up with random emails, or just honestly, like how many times has someone just been typing on their computer because you look around and you think that's what you're supposed to be doing. Instead, it's really about changing your point of idea here and your reference here, and instead seeing it as impact equals success. And this is so important in terms of really ensuring that you are valued in an organization, that you are someone that they hold as a key asset in an organization, and this is the type of leadership that gets you the promotions, that gets you the opportunities, and makes you the known leader in your field. And since impact equals success, each tip and trick I'm going to share with you is going to be focused on helping you to increase your impact so you're not caught in that busyness trap and spiral, and instead really focus on standing out. And what does it mean to stand out? It means that you leave a really long-lasting impression on any client, colleague, boss of yours. This means going into meetings as someone who's prepared, who stands out, as someone that adds value. And more than anything, this means being seen as someone who's focused on not just fitting in with everyone else, but really bringing something innovative and unique to the table. So let's dive right in. And tip number 1 is to map out the #1 most impactful thing for you to focus on during the day. And let's just start with my own personal story. Literally for me, I used to find that the moment I'd wake up in the morning, I would look at my phone, I'd feel this kind of anxious anxiety in my chest because I'd always feel like I was permanently left behind or hadn't done enough, or there was so much that I needed to get done in a day. And instead of taking time to really think about what was most important, instead I would instantly get on my phone, scroll my emails, be looking at my Slack messages, and then instantly just be responding to all the meetings and assignments and things that were on my plate that day. And the problem with this, frankly, that I've come to find 100 million times in my experience, is that then I never got to finish my days feeling fulfilled. I'd feel that I did a lot and was busy during my day, but I didn't really know where I was headed. I didn't really have a clear idea of what valuable thing I did in a day, and I really couldn't articulate to my bosses, to my mentors, exactly what I was doing that was moving things forward. And I find this so common, and others that I talk to on this front, is it's so easy if we don't make that intentional effort to figure out what is most important in our day, to actually just be on this busyness spiral all day long, just responding to all the other demands everyone else puts on us. So So what I highly, highly, highly recommend is taking time first thing in the morning before you do anything else, before looking at your phone in particular, is to actually take time to draft out and think through what is the most impactful thing for me to focus on today. Just one thing, and to really focus on that. And if you would like clear guidance on exactly how to do this, check out my next video, subscribe, get notified, because I'll actually be going through my step-by-step process that ensures that you will actually be so crystal clear on what matters most, take control of your day, and also be ready and confident to know that every day is going to be a valuable one and is moving you forward on your leadership path. All right, so tip number 2 is to schedule a morning 90-minute. And here's the thing, gosh, I used to just be distracted, and distractions used to be the thing that used to keep me from being as impactful as I could have been, frankly. And I wasn't alone in this. The latest research is actually showing that the majority of employees spend most of their working day distracted, whether that's scrolling social media or just aimlessly internet surfing or whatever it could be, or just honestly just going on Slack channels and doing things that aren't actually getting things done. Definitely guilty and have been guilty of that in my past. But here's the big difference. If you're someone who actually makes focus a priority and really gauges the impact of focus, you're going to be someone that will stand out, because it's such a big competitive advantage moment in a time where so many people are letting digital dementia and distraction rule their life. So here's how I do it. So after I've just mapped out my most impactful thing for the day, which is great, now I have this very clear idea of what will really drive me forward, I then set a really good environment for myself. So what I found really helpful is I use actually marinaratimer.com, and you can actually create a customized timer on there. And I like it because it gives me the little ding at the end telling me, I've accomplished my goal. And so I schedule that, and then in that period, that 90-minute period, I put my phone on airplane mode, ideally even just put in a different room, honestly. And I really just make sure that all of my attention, all of my focus is on ensuring that that number one most impactful task is getting done, that nothing else comes up. And here's a little trick for any of us that have a lot of creative ideas that love to pop up in these kind of focus moments. I always have a post-it note next to me, so that way if any of these ideas come up, I can just scribble it down and not forget it, but not get lost trying to focus on that now. And so I find that that is really helpful. And so I hope that, if you're actually curious about how I map this out more fully, I'll actually, put the notification button, because I will actually be creating another video really outlining the specific steps on how you can ensure that this time is most useful for you. And ultimately, you'll get to see that you'll get to finish your day knowing that no matter what came up, no matter what other demands people put on you, that specific task is done. Tip number 3 is to say no to unnecessary meetings. No joke, you can look at your calendar right now and you'll probably laugh at how many extra meetings you've been to in this last month that honestly, you don't even really know what value you brought to the meeting or really what mattered about the meeting. Or I can't even tell you how many meetings I've been in my life where we set a meeting to then set up another meeting. And so this is so important, because every meeting you're in is time taken that you're not able to be producing something really meaningful work. And so 2 key things here is, 1, I want you to start noticing and actually asking yourself before you say yes to a meeting, will I bring something impactful or valuable to this meeting? And if you don't have a clear answer, say no to it. And 2, I've also found a really nifty trick here is actually to have meeting days ideally and non-meeting days. So for those especially who have to do a lot of writing or coding or things that take up a lot of brain space, if you're constantly having your day interrupted by meetings, it's really hard to get back into that focus mode. So if you actually set up your days ideally where you have you try to batch your meetings into specific days, it really helps to ensure that you give yourself those other periods of time to really be focused on producing work and other times where you're in the meeting mode. So key thing is you'll get to see that now if you do it this way, every meeting you're in, you'll be more present, you'll show up more fully because you'll know that you're there for a meaningful reason. And speaking of meaningful, if you've really loved these tips and tricks that I've shared with you today and the way I've shown you how to organize your workday for success, then hit the notification bell so you can be alerted when my next video is released, which will be a step-by-step process that guides you to set up your morning ritual for clarity, for confidence, and to really start your day ahead of the curve. And if you want to learn more leadership tips, life hacks, and actually how to become the CEO of your life and career, then I highly recommend checking out my free Bold and Impactful Leader Masterclass, which I have linked in the description below. There you'll find just such good insider tips and tricks on exactly how to stand out in your field and be making the impact that you deeply, deeply desire. I hope you have a fierce day and take empowered action because you, my friend, were born to make an impact.